Alright guys, welcome to Cake Maestro's Bakehouse. Today we're going to be making some double chocolate chip cookies. Just going to have a run through of ingredients. So we've got plain flour, cocoa powder, caster sugar and dark brown sugar, baking soda, an egg, vanilla, salt, milk, unsalted butter, and finally a mixture of chocolate chips, dark and white chocolate chips. Our equipment tray, whisk, scoop, a spatula just to scrape the sides of the bowl down, a paddle, and just measuring spoon to make sure we measure everything accurately. And also obviously we're going to have our mixing bowl and our standing mixer, and obviously a scale just to measure everything. So in the mixing bowl, we're going to begin by creaming the butter, unsalted butter, and also the sugar. I'm going to get a paddle. So in here we've got the butter and the sugar, and ideally we don't want to beat, we just want to cream the butter and the sugar. It should take 2 to 3 minutes. So occasionally throughout the mixing process, just stop the machine, scrape down the paddle on the sides of the bowl, because ideally what you want to do is to ensure that all the ingredients get incorporated completely. You don't want to have the middle of the batter all mixed well, and then up the sides you have stuff that's not mixed well. The idea is to cream this until it's light and fluffy. Initially it's a lot darker in colour. You know that we've creamed the mixture, the butter and the sugar, it's gotten a lot lighter. So at this stage, I'm going to add wet ingredients, followed by the dry ingredients. So wet wise, we've got an egg that we just crack straight in, vanilla, and also put that back on. And again, we're just going to stop and do what we did before, just scrape everything down to make sure everything gets incorporated. Right, so following this, we're going to mix all the dry ingredients together in one bowl first before we add it to the main mix. So we've got the plain flour, we're going to add the cocoa powder, salt, baking soda. I'm just going to use the whisk just to help combine everything. Alright, just going to add that to the mix. We're just going to mix until everything is combined. We don't want to over mix. And again, we stop, scrape everything down, just to make sure everything gets incorporated. Ensure that you scrape the sides of the bowl down completely, because the idea is to ensure all ingredients are completely mixed together throughout the batter. You don't want to have your cookies kind of lopsided or baking incorrectly. Okay, so last thing to go in would be your chocolate chips. Just add everything in. Yep, and the remainder we can mix by hand with the spatula. Sides down again. It's stodgy, which is how it's supposed to look. Just make sure all the butter and sugar from the bottom of the oven has been incorporated as well. So the cookies are pretty much done. Batter wise, I'm going to use a number 24 scoop. So all I'm doing is just scoop in. It doesn't have to be a level scoop, just kind of rough. Straight onto the tray. Make sure you leave adequate space because this is gonna spread once the heat hits it in the oven. So I just give it a little space to allow it to spread and not kind of touch each other. If you're wanting to bake them for today, you'd have to put this in the fridge for at least 2 hours just to chill, and then bake from the fridge straight into the oven. I tend to like scooping them and freezing them. All this now on the tray. I'll put the tray in the freezer as is. So these will become frozen, and then you can store them in an airtight container, which you can then use at a later date. If you're doing cookies like with the kids, you can get them to scoop them for you and then put them in the freezer, and they can take them out and do them themselves. So you always have fresh cookies as and when you need them. So these have been chilling for 3 hours and I'm about to bake them. Ensure that when you do take them out the fridge, leave them on your surface for about 10 minutes. Just for them to come up a bit, and then I'm gonna bang these in for 10 to 12 minutes at 170. I'll come back after 10 minutes just to check how far it's gotten. Ideally, what I don't want would be the center of the cookies to be overdone. It needs to be still nice and kind of squidgy. So we'll come back after 10 minutes just to check. Alright, so that's 10 minutes. So they're perfectly spread. Let's just see what they look like. Still squidgy on the inside, could stay a little bit longer, so we'll put it on for probably another couple minutes. Okay, so I've just taken these out after the added 2 minutes. So what I'm going to do now, you don't have to, I only do it because I like things to look pretty. Just a few chips you can kind of add to the cookies while it's still hot. Doesn't have to be a lot, just a few. So as the cookies cool, the chips will also kind of melt into the cookies. I've left these to cool for about 5 minutes. So I'm just gonna show you what it looks like on the inside. I've already eaten one. So right. So it's still very gooey on the inside, so it's still warm. But it just kind of gives you an idea of how gooey the insides are. Look at that. So the cookie holds together nicely still anyways. It's just because it's still quite warm. But see, all the chocolate melted on the inside. So yeah, so just leave that to cool a further 10 minutes or so, and then you'll be able to like take them off the tray and put them in a cookie jar or something. But yeah, they taste absolutely delightful. I mean, if you wanted to go further, you could even, if you're a nut person, you could chop up some salted peanuts maybe, balance with that sweetness, so it'd be quite nice. And there you have it, your double chocolate chip cookies.